かたじけない。
トロこいつら全員下へ。
One Piece. One Piece has stood atop its throne of shonen anime for a very long time. Starting from volume sales, number of chapters, world building, and storytelling, every single aspect about it could easily carry its own weight. Nothing feels as if it's neglected. One Piece is like that one Asian kid every parent talks about to their children.
Shit, here we go again.
You know, the one who's a doctor slash engineer slash lawyer all at once, while also being jacked and having a giant cock. With a history and record like this, it would seem as if this behemoth of a manga would never be taken down. Until that. One Piece no longer dominates the sales of volumes anymore. In fact, it's far from it. It's number 4 in terms of sale. And it's not just by a little bit. There's a giant difference. The amount of new people getting into it are at an all-time low, and it doesn't seem like that's going to change anytime soon. How did this happen? Who's to blame? And why are you listening to some random packy with a suspicious mustache on way too much crack cocaine talk about it? Don't worry. All this and more will be answered in due time. I just need to go to the fridge and grab a snack. A great amount of One Piece's appeal is in the story. It's unlike any out there, and that's because of its high volume quality. What I mean by this is that even though the story is as long as Dora the Explorer's criminal history, it's able to maintain a consistent quality. There are certainly low points, especially at the start, but when it hits hard. I often say that it's an 8 out of 10 anime with 1,000 out of 10 moments. And I think that's absolutely true. You only need to experience one of these moments to be completely hooked. Too bad that moment is probably hundreds of episodes later. The story is able to touch your heart even though there's ridiculous scenarios taking place. When a pirate jumps in to save a drowning child, sacrificing his own arm. When a chef chooses to cook his own leg and eat it so that he could give all his food to another child and not have to see him starve. When a transgender gay man wearing clown makeup decides to ballet kick a button to save you from a poison dragon. I'm not even making that last one up. It's a legit tearjerker of a scene. It seems as if Oda, the author, has a grip on our heartstrings and is able to manipulate it however and whenever he pleases. Add to that the legendary world building and progression. It's enough to make any fan of anime come. The author goes through the effort of making covers that constantly update on what's happening with various side characters we don't get to see for a while. When the crew leaves an island, it genuinely feels like there was an impact made, that the people they met there continue breathing even after they left. The world reacts to every major event that takes place involving the Straw Hats. There's genuine thought and emotion gone into every panel and frame of this anime. Except the pacing. It sometimes feels as if I'm watching a drunk snail try and fight its way to a retirement home. But pacing's an issue to talk about on another day. Good stories can bring anyone into their worlds, but the characters are what make you feel right at home. Good stories can bring anyone into their worlds, but the characters are what make you feel right at home. Even bigger than the story, the characters are the ones that end up making the biggest impact. I don't think there's any story I've read, period, with characters like One Piece. And I've read a lot. Berserk, Naruto. These are examples of stories that got their characters right, for the most part. But One Piece gets its characters right in the most unpredictable way. It's amazing in ways you would never expect. That's also what she said before the divorce. A chronic simp with a cooking obsession, a singing skeleton, a literal hairy man in an underwear. All of these are ridiculous concepts for characters, and yet I've come to love all of them. Those are just a few examples. Admirals that look like incel hippies, a swan ballet dancer, and Big Mom. It's official. One Piece made your mama so fat jokes canon. But I think by far the favorite character for me and many others is Zoro. He's such a badass character. You only need to point to one scene, one frame, and that would be all the reason you need. These characters can carry scenes on their own, but it's their interactions with each other that elevate the experience as a whole. Their undying loyalty to their captain, their acts of kindness and chemistry along with each other. Even characters from years ago remember events that happened and interact differently. It's made abundantly clear that every moment matters. That the interactions will have meaning carried through generations. Odin's interactions with Roger carries through all the way to their rebellion with Luffy. The fishman's kindness is remembered even years after. When all of these factors, the story, the characters, the significance of the interactions, come together in one moment, one arc, you can't help but fall in love with the story. It becomes an addiction, like crack cocaine, except that it's much worse. And we are all about to watch this addiction slowly crumble. One Piece dominates in story and characters. This alone is enough to justify its spot as the number one shonen. To top it off, right now it's going through one of the most influential arcs, which may go down as one of the best in recent years, and yet the throne of One Piece has started to fall. You would think that since One Piece has started to reach its newest height, the opposite would happen, that its dominance would be even more prevalent. And that would have been the case if Ninja decided to keep his fucking mouth shut. Demon Slayer's height of stardom started with a tweet from a Ligma survivor, only to end with record sales beating out One Piece. And this was just the beginning. Jujutsu Kaisen, Chainsaw Man, fucking Spy Family, all of these legendary stories came in like a storm, one after the other, delivering action scenes, fights, romance, drama, and wacky as fuck characters. This is a lady who is literally the personification of a bomb, meaning that she is a jihadi's dream wife. So you can canonically say that she's got a bomb-ass pussy. Each one of these manga outsold One Piece in a year. Suddenly, what used to be at the top was now fourth, making it abundantly clear that Demon Slayer was not just an anomaly. We've had great shows before, and yet One Piece has remained at the top. What made these any different? I think it's the fact that now we are all officially boomers. It's not that One Piece is declining. In fact, the numbers have never been higher with this recent Wano arc. It's just that every other story is so batshit insane at catching your eye. Beautiful visuals, haunting imagery, wider appeal. None of these other manga have the glaring problem One Piece does: the pacing. When a new anime fan is born, they have an amazing lineup to choose from, all stories brimming with life, and none of them will ever choose One Piece because they look at the literal 1,000 episodes and go, yeah, I think I'll watch it, Rent a Girlfriend instead. The current fan base of One Piece is holding strong, but new fans coming in are at an all-time low, which is a damn shame, because this is a show truly worth experiencing at least once. This is an adventure worth taking, regardless of whether or not it's at the top anymore or not. Whenever it finishes, as long as I'm alive and not in a geriatric home, I don't know how I'll feel. But I do know that looking back to when I started the story, I'll have shared an experience unique only to me. And that's all that truly matters. Right?